Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to another fantastic episode of the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. We're brought to you by Rocky Mountain Sports Network and, of course, sponsored by the amazing Morgan Trinkets. But, man, we're talking about what? A winning Denver Broncos football team, a Denver Broncos football team that is only one win away from securing a playoff spot with nobody else's help. And I'm not alone. My name is Keith Brugman. I'm going to be a host. But I'm going to bring along my friends, you, the posse, as well as the people on the screen. I'm going to get to start off by saying hello to the gentleman next to me, Mr. Trevor Salzman. How are we doing, sir?
Doing well, Keith. Excited to be here and talk Broncos football. Has got a chance to kind of review the game a little bit and, some ups, some downs. But, I mean, a win's a win and excited, short week and time to move on to the Chargers as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Move on. Take the wins the way you can get them. We'll talk a little bit about that win that we got, however it came, and we'll be talking about the Chargers right here in the near future, just around the corner, coming up Thursday. Around the corner right now, though, we're talking to the one, the only, Mile High Albert Dutchy. How we doing, sir?
We're doing fantastic. We are one toe tip into the playoffs. Toe tip. And that means 91% chance of making the playoffs. One more win, and we are there. And the biggest thing of all, we finally have a winning season.
Yeah, it's been too long, Albert. It's been too long. 7 seasons we've endured, waiting for another winning season, waiting to get back to this point, waiting to get to the point that we can actually call ourselves a winning football team. We're there. And, despite all the skeptics, and, I wish I was a little less skeptical because, believe me, that 5.5 game win line that Vegas put out there, that anybody could have went out there and put a little wager on. I wish I was one of those people now looking in the rear view mirror, gentlemen. This team has done much better than expected. They've surprised many of the pundits out there. And beyond that, I think they've surprised me. They've surprised Trevor. And maybe the optimist himself, Mile High Albert Dutchy. Albert, this team has done fantastic. You were talking a little bit about the resilience this team has. It's been pretty amazing, especially as the stretch has gone on. Talk a little bit about that. I'm going to hit the pause and then we'll get into the meat of this episode, I guess you could say.
Yeah, we had 2 games back to back, ugly wins, but no matter what, there were wins. Yeah, the defense helped a lot with scoring touchdowns, but Bo Nix, we have to admit, even after having 3 interceptions, it looks like he just turns around, shakes it off, and have another try. And he keeps going, and he keeps going. If this would have been Russell Wilson, we would have lost the game because the game was over by the second pick.
Fair.
But not with Bo Nix. We saw it against the Browns. He came back, and he did it. And we saw it again this weekend. 3 interceptions and 3 touchdowns. This is we have not seen a quarterback like this since Peyton Manning. And I think we have something. This is our franchise quarterback because he has the. What did Sean Payton say? He has the moxie to do it.
Yeah. Has
And
the moxie.
we have seen it. He is our franchise quarterback.
Let me run through this. I know that not everyone will be in agreement for a franchise quarterback quite yet, but I want to run through the posse. Starting off with Michelle Knoppers coming in over on YouTube earlier than expected. Before I think we even went live. Saying, evening, gents. Merry Christmas. Love to hard but thorough win. It was a hard fought win. And one that we had to really endure through. That's for sure. Ernie Mays coming in saying, hello, Keith, Trevor, and Jody, and Dutchie. Go Bo Broncos, country only, and go Bo Knicks for 6. Paul saying, I saw Keith on a pod asking about our running game. I think we need a good running back, and Estime is our only hope. Yeah, I get around. I get on some pods sometimes. I like to listen to a little bit of everybody. Everyone has great opinions, including the posse themselves. Get a lot of great ideas and thoughts from them. Scott's coming in and saying, it's orange and blue time in Denver for the Horsemen and the posse to chat. Yippee. And absolutely, man. We're excited every time we get to come in here, talk with all of you, talk a little bit of Broncos football, and talk about a winning football team, a playoff-bound football team, fingers crossed. And Graham's coming in here and saying, yes, sir. Hey, gentlemen. Hello to you, Graham. Part of the K&K Sports Show as well. I saw another name in here. We'll be talking about K&K Sports Show a little bit more, but check them out. They got Broncos show. They got Giants show. They got Yankees show. They got, you name it, Wits and Wagers. They'll get you all taken care of. They've got a great plethora of sports podcasts over there. Paul saying hello to Dutchie's better half as well. Wait, we secure a playoff spot with a win? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. Graham. Yeah, that's all it takes. Mr. Michael Ronquillo coming in here and dropping stars. And Michael, I appreciate it. I'll see if maybe we'll make an exception here, but after this, I'll segue as well, gentlemen. But he's saying, good evening, Keith, Albert, Trevor, and Go Bo Broncos. The segue, everybody, is I've been talking about it for quite some time. I've been talking about this for a while. I want to make sure that you all know that we value you. We care about you. We love you a ton. And if it wasn't for you, we couldn't be doing this. So we like to give back whenever we can, however we can. And it's not all that often that we can. Wish it could be more often. And maybe that's around the corner. But that being said, got talking with some good friends right there in the Colorado region. Bighorn Autographs. I don't know if anybody knows of Bighorn Autographs. Great, fantastic company. And they're going to be sponsoring our main giveaway. That's right. We got a giveaway for all of you in the posse. Anybody can be entered to win in this giveaway. So there's 3 things you need to do. A, you need to follow the Rocky Mountain Sports Network Facebook page. You need to be a follower. You can do all the other steps, and you won't be qualified if you're not a Rocky Mountain Sports Network Facebook follower. Please go over there, follow us today. That's where we really want to get the response. We love all the love and all the shares over there on YouTube. Thank you so much. We love all the support on the Denver Bronco Roundup page, Facebook. Thank you so much. But you need to be a follower on the Rocky Mountain Sports Network Facebook page. Second, you need to type in RMSN win. That's Rocky Mountain Sports Network win. RMSN win. But, and this is the kicker, for all of those who do give stars and those who gave stars tonight without doing this, I'll go ahead and I'll qualify you in. We'll go ahead and qualify you in on this. If you give 100 stars and have that RMSN win in there as well, it's going to give you 3 entries rather than just 1 entry for every time you do that. It's a little extra for anybody who can help support the show and give us a little extra. For Michael that I see in here, and I believe Phil, he's probably doing the same over on another page on the Facebook. I'll make sure that you all are all taken care of. But RMSN win, You're following the RMSN or the Rocky Mountain Sports Network Facebook page. And if you do give 100 stars with that, you get 3 entries versus 1 entry whenever you do that. What do you get from the amazing Bighorn autographs? That's our main giveaway prize. So I've been trying to keep this under good wraps and taken care of. This is going to be one Pat Surtain signed jersey with JSA certification. I don't know how well you can see it there. That's Mr. Surtain's signature on that jersey. Thank you, Bighorn Autographs, for helping us out with this. That's our main giveaway. Whoever, I guess if whoever gets picked number 1, they can pick whatever prize they want first. I imagine that would be what they'll be picking. We also have that 2023 training camp giveaway with signatures from people like DJ Jones and Alex Forsyth, among others. And last but not least, we have that Elway figurine that we'll be giving away. This is for U.S. residents only. Can't ship overseas or over oceans. So 48 states only. Patrick, I apologize. We'll find you something else if you want to be entering, and I'll try to get you all taken care of. But 48 continuous states only. No relatives or podcasters or friends or family thereof are entered to win. So that's the big giveaway, gentlemen. I appreciate you letting me take a little bit of time. I know we certainly diverged a long ways away from our agenda, but man, I've been wanting to get something back to all of our followers, to the posse, to all the love that they've given us for such a long time, and this is what we decided to do. So again, RMSN win, following over on the Rocky Mountain Sports Network Facebook page. If you happen to give 100 stars as well, that gets you 3 entries versus 1. That's all I got, man. But Trevor, I know that you're excited about talking about this Chargers game. You went back, you looked at a lot of film. I just want you to give me a little bit of breakdown of what you saw, some of the corrections you may see heading into, in the last game. You went back and looked, and then progressing over to this Chargers game, what you can see, maybe we can correct and get better at, and take away a win.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we should start highlighting this defense even more. I mean, 8 takeaways, 8 turnovers in the last 2 games for this Denver Broncos defense. But it's great to talk about Bo Nix, and I think he bounced back pretty well after those interceptions on Sunday. But I mean, Nick Benito, he's just, talk about star. I mean, this guy's a star for this football team right now. Back-to-back pick sixes taken to the house. This guy's not only just doing it in coverage, picking interception-wise, but he's also getting after the quarterback at elite level. Now 11 and a half sacks from Nick Benito in the NFL. That is tied for 3rd in the NFL with TJ Watt. That's a pretty good player. So, I mean, it's just, I want to highlight the defense. I mean, because really the defense has been a major part of where this football team is now. And now I think you're seeing that. And I think we've seen that for most of the season. And so the offense, I think they have their woes and their ups and downs, but the defense, I know, there's a couple games that they didn't play their best. Baltimore, the Browns game, of course, there's things to clean up, but they're not going to be perfect every single week. We have to realize that. But when they're called upon to step up, they did that. They shut down Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor in that second half of this football game. That is huge, and that doesn't get talked about enough, I don't think. And I know that big, run by Jonathan Taylor, dropped the ball in the end zone. I get that. But this defense responded in a big way. We can't be giving up runs like that. We got to make adjustments, and they made adjustments on Sunday, I thought, and that was huge in this game for this Broncos, leading to a Broncos victory. So, I just wanted to highlight the defense really quickly. And, this is the defense is a top 5 defense in the league, and a big reason why this Broncos team continues to stack those wins each and every week. Offensively, real quickly, the running game has just been a disaster the past couple weeks. It's 49 yards total in this game without Bo Nix. Running the football, just 49 yards just in total between the running backs, I should say. These running backs got to help out Bo Nix at some point in time. I like what I'm seeing from Bo. I think Bo's played well this season. The running backs got to start helping him out. Sean Payton's got to start helping him out a little bit. 3rd and 1, and your play action pass. leads to an interception, you should be running the football right there. You can't, that can't lead to a turnover. And so the offense, there's some things to work out, some kinks to kind of work out, but I don't think that it's too late for that to happen. The defense is playing well, and a win's a win. But I was encouraged what I seen, offensively from Bo Nix towards the end of the game. I thought he learned from some of his mistakes, and excited to see him bounce back against the Chargers because he's pretty hard on himself, and I'm sure that he's going to go back and watch film and say I can be better with some of those reads, and and they're going to need him. That those interceptions from Nix, they have to kind of start coming down, a little bit more. That's can't turn the football over in the NFL and be an efficient quarterback for your football team. So.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Great breakdown. I'd like to hear Dutchie's as well, man, because I agree, man. This defense looked great. Running game, we need helps. Bo Nix can be better. I've been running through some comments. Paul's coming over on YouTube, though. I love this. Energizer Boney, as in the Bo Nix, the Energizer Bunny, man, because he just keeps going and going and going. Clayton's coming in here. I said 10 to 12. Bo Nix is going to sign. Check. No fly zone. Check. Special teams. Check. Swag. Come on my way, guys. Laugh out loud. I love it. My good friend Jeremy Dresser coming in saying, "Sup, fellas, go Broncos." And we got a few people already coming in and entering into the RMSN win for that Patrick Surtain signed jersey that we're giving away. RMSN win is what you need to do, as well as following that Facebook page over at Rocky Mountain Sports Network. People like Phil McLaughlin getting in there. We also got people like, my guess is my good friend Chad over there saying, "Hey dudes," with the Bridge of the Gap Facebook page. How you doing, Chad? Good to see you, man. Can't wait for the next album. Hope you have fun down in Vegas shooting the next video. And for all of those who don't know, if you're into a little bit of punk, got to check out Bridge the Gap. They've been rising the charts over there on multiple streams like Spotify and the like. So, boy, I know I do not qualify, but RMSN win, Michelle and Albert, but that's okay, man. That's exactly what we want to see. Clayton's getting in there. Graham's getting in here. RMSN win. I mean, a Patrick Surtain, JSA certified, signed jersey. I mean, if it wasn't so much for me to frame it and then send it to you all, it would be perfect hung on anybody's wall, man. I mean, you're talking about future Hall of Famer right here. I tried to make sure you were taken care of so you weren't getting the next Philip Lindsay jersey or something like that. No disrespect. No disrespect to Philip Lindsay, but I think PS2 is on a little bit different trajectory. Defense wins championships, says Jeremy. Dutchie, I'll get over to you for your thoughts. I'll get back into the comments here in a second, buddy. But this last game, let's wrap up the Chargers game. It wasn't pretty. You talked about the resilience, but your breakdown, you got to see the game a little bit. What were your thoughts, buddy?
Colts game.
Why do I keep doing that? I'm so focused on this Chargers game. The Colts game. You haven't seen the Chargers game yet because he's not a time traveler. He saw the Colts game, though. What were you thinking, Albert?
Yeah, what needs to happen? Yeah, our defense just needs to keep playing how they're playing, and they're really good. They had a bad game against the Browns, but we have now seen that Chris Abrams' drain is doing pretty well. So we have a little depth in there. He can step in for the Riley Moss. We know that Surtain is going to play because he was a full participant today in practice, so the injury was not that bad. And so and I think this is the name that the defense should have: no name defense, because a lot of the commenters do not know who is one of the defensive players. They have to look it up, and they have admitted it themselves. I do not know a lot of those names. So no name defense. I think that would be I like that one. And yeah, our offense, we have seen they have a lot of lows, but when it matters most, they will have the highs. And if they start off mediocre and not bad, I think we will have a really high scoring game. But if they start off just the way it was, it's going to be a close game. But I think nonetheless it's going to be a game for the Broncos and they will win it because of all the injuries that they have on the Chargers side. So it's this is going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. And to me, the second half of against the Colts was fun to watch. It was fun to watch. And yeah, the Colts made mistakes, the Broncos made mistakes, but in the end, it was a fun game to watch.
That's when the Broncos put up all their points was in the second half. That's when the Broncos, honestly, in my opinion, VJ made his best adjustments of the entire season. I mean, I haven't seen the defense look so bad in the first half versus the Colts in this particular fashion or this particular game, and then come in, adjust, and look completely different, completely shut down a team, turn it up, get turnovers, interceptions, touchdowns, you name it. It was a tale of two halves. And I really give it up to VJ. I thought he had a fantastic a fantastically coached game. Now, I wish I could have said the same for the offense. I think, yes, they got their points, but they got the points off of a lot of special teams, a lot of defensive opportunities. And the fact that, if I remember right, I heard the stat right, 8 drives started at the Broncos 40 or better. I was talking a little bit with Dutchie before before we got live. Well, if we had eight possessions to start on the Denver Broncos 40 or better, I expect half of those being maybe touchdowns and half of those being field goals. If that's the case, we're talking 28 points and touchdowns. We're talking another 12 points and field goals. We're talking about 40 points right there that we should be walking out the door with just on offense. It wasn't the case. The Broncos definitely struggled. They end up punting in situations when they should have been able to get into at least a field goal range opportunity. And, hey, it takes games like this. It takes games like this, though, in order to get the win when it's ugly, when it's bad, when you're not your best, and still get the win by doing it with different phases of the game, whether it be that defense, whether it be that special teams. It's going to come around, hopefully, that you're doing that all the time. Your special teams ain't great. Your offense really did well. Your defense didn't do great. Your special teams and your offense did great. You know what I mean? It needs to be a well-rounded product, and hopefully, as you get to the very end, they're all firing on all cylinders, but you have to have the ability and the capability from all three phases, and that's one thing that I do see in this Denver Broncos team. They have the ability, they have the capability in all three phases. It's whether they go out there and they execute, and it's whether they go out there and have the scheme lined up properly, because one thing I am worried about is the run game. Now, that being said, Jody comes in here, the fourth horseman. If you're looking for the fourth horseman, it's tough to get us all on the stage at the same time. But he's in here in the comments and saying the fourth quarter was proof Nix is clutch and doesn't let bad plays linger. 4 of 6 or 46 yards and 2 touchdowns. So there is a little bit of magic and there is a little bit of clutch gene that I definitely do see that one Bo Nix has. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to scroll through the comments again. I'm going to just mention again, RMSN win. Type that in to the comments. That gets you entered as long as you're a Rocky Mountain Sports Network Facebook follower. And if you happen to drop 100 stars on top of it, then that gets you 3 entries versus 1. I'll show it one more time really quick, and then I'll get over to you guys as well. We'll wrap it, like I said, kind of wrap up the thoughts on the Chargers and then move ahead. We'll get a sponsorship read in between, but Mr. Pat Surtain, I don't even want to touch it too much. I want to make sure I'm not making any mistakes here. That says fantastic signature there. Want to give that away to one of you all. Again, I have that 2023 training camp that has Alex Forsyth, DJ Jones on there. We also have the Elway figurine. That's your opportunity to get entered and then choose your prize. First entry pulled will get their opportunity. I guess is PS2, but hey, it's up to you guys. It's up to you. Whatever you want to do. Just because I got to get caught up on comments, just because I need a sip again of this fantastic Lion coffee. Trevor, just final thoughts on this last game. Swing it over to Dutchy, and then we'll get right back in the comments.
Yeah, I mean, the thing, and hopefully will be adjust going forward, because I think opposing defenses will adjust to this as well. Bo Nix, 2 out of the 3 interceptions from Bo Nix was to Cortland Sutton, and I think there were some times he missed reads and had other guys open. I tend to think he was forcing the ball a little too much to Sutton, so I think that's part of the interceptions from this last game on Sunday against the Colts. So hopefully that just gets adjusted a little bit more. Of course, you want to get your playmakers the ball, but defenses are going to put their best guys in Cortland Sutton, and they're going to adjust to that. They're going to see it. Cortland Sutton was targeted, led this team with 9 targets in this game. I think it's important to start getting other guys involved in the passing game as well. We talk about the running game struggling, and I 100% agree. It's been struggling for 2 years now under Sean Payton, but I think it's time to get some other guys involved too, because it's one thing I'm worried about is Bo Nix maybe forcing that ball to Cortland Sutton a little bit more when maybe the plays aren't there. 2 of those interceptions, I think, was forced into Cortland Sutton when you had other guys open. So, but I mean, again, he's going to learn from it, and I expect Bo Nix to bounce back and be better than ever against the Chargers. But it's just those interceptions are putting your defense in a tough position, and it's hard to sustain that going forward from a turnover standpoint when it comes to the Broncos defense. And so just clean up the turnovers and get that run game going. It's something that's has to happen before you get into the playoffs. And I don't know if that's estimate thing, if that's a maybe we see Tyler Badek start coming into the fold. Haven't heard much about him in a while. Is it Blake Watson? Something's got to be adjusted though with this run game, and you got to find the right combination of running backs because this can't continue. 49 total yards between your running backs. It's not ideal, and it's putting Bo Nix in a tough position. He's had to put he has a lot put on his shoulders when it comes to this offense, and so we'd like to start taking some of that pressure off Bo Nix, and help him offload some of that, and help this offense kind of move the ball in other ways other than just be one dimensional with the passing game.
Yeah, and it was it was Jody, I think it was even Albert that came in here and that were really high about what Bo Nix could do against this Colts defense. Now we turn the page. It's going to be against this Chargers defense. Albert, your thoughts, man, because like I said, I think everyone was excited about maybe what could be happening with Bo Nix versus this Colts defense, but now we're looking for the bounce back.
Yeah, it is going to be a bounce back, and each game is going to be different. The defense of the Colts, they knew exactly what they needed to do, and they got it done. They were really well organized for at least 3/4 of the game, and then in the end, it all came together for the offense on our side. Yeah, and there were also miscues between Sutton and Bo Nix. You could see it with one of those passes. There was total miscue, and the first interception, I totally believe that Bo Nix never saw that one defender there. So it is all, yeah. This offense is going to be very very good. It just needs to take time, and John Elway needed a full year, almost 2 years, to be the person he needs to be. Bo Nix is already ahead of schedule of John Elway. Peyton Manning, his first season. Patrick Mahomes, his first season. None of them were as good as what Bo Nix is now. Yeah, does the defense help? Probably. But the talent that Bo Nix already has and what he has shown here, yeah, is far ahead of John Elway in his rookie year. So this is going to be a good season. It is already a really good season. We have, for the first time in 8 years or 9 years, we have a winning season. And like I said, our toes are already in the playoffs. So that's all I can say. And it's only going to get better.
Keith, can I have one
Yes, sir.
final comment here? I want to give praise to Marvin Mims though as well on the special teams. 97 yards on 3 punt returns. That was huge. As far and you commented and talked about earlier about putting this offense in position to score and as best as possible. And I thought Marvin Mims did a pretty good job of that in this game. And he's due for a punt return and take it back to the house. I mean, this is a guy that we can't lose track of. This was a Pro Bowler last year on special teams, and so I thought he did. He played really well in this game and put the Broncos offense in a good spot. And I think Sean Payton alluded to that as well on his pressure. He thought that was pretty big. For Marvin Mims there. So not only Marvin Mims getting involved offensively, but him getting involved as far as special teams wise is absolutely huge with his speed and his burst. I thought that he played really well quietly against the Colts, and I thought it was a big factor in putting maybe some of those touchdown passes the Bo Nix was able to throw and put this offense in ideal field position.
Very good, buddy. I agree, man. I agree. I'm just reading through the comments here. Some people aren't the biggest Facebook followers or Facebook fans. Paul, I understand that you might not be a big Facebook follower. Feel free to type it in right there over there on YouTube. I know that we're not set up for any type of star giveaways or superstar giveaways over on YouTube yet. We just don't have the viewers or the hours as of yet. So we do appreciate all the love that you're giving us over there on YouTube. That being said, you can type in RMS win over there. I won't hold you to the Facebook follower if you're a YouTube follower. How's that, Paul? So go ahead and get in on that. I'm doing that on the fly, but we do want to go ahead and grow that Rocky Mountain Sports Network Facebook page if you're capable, if you're able. That's what we're looking for first and foremost for RMSN win. And I did see Patrick, who came in here a little bit earlier, and say that he's RMSN win. It's only for the 48 states. I'm so sorry, Patrick. I'm going to get you something special on the side. We've been talking about that, but for all of your love with Lion Coffee and the whole 9 yards. But I did hold this to just the 48 continuous states because shipping is getting pretty crazy out there going outside the continental 48. So let me find you out something else. And I apologize that I'm even saying that, buddy. Might even try to see if there's any way I can keep you in there, buddy, because you're just somebody special. I might just accept yours anyways. But Kurt Valente is coming in with the RMSN win as well. Appreciate you, Kurt, part of the amazing K&K Sports Show. Michael Ronquillo, who already dropped stars earlier, coming in and saying RMSN win. We appreciate it so much, getting all entered in. I got to get over to our fantastic sponsor really quickly, gentlemen, and that's Morgan Trinkets. Morgan Trinkets is your headquarters for Southwest Jewelry, Southwest Pottery, and Estate Gold at wholesale prices. 34 years experience, once a nationwide company. Now they're just in your backyard, Northern Colorado, Southern Wyoming. They've been doing shows weekend after weekend, all winter long. They're touring gem shows and fairs and you name it, whatever is going on in that area. That's why I say just in your backyard. But they're also available over on Etsy. You just type in Morgan Trinkets Co. That's Morgan Trinkets Co. And you find all of the wonderful treasures that Pearl has to offer over there on Etsy. Southwest Jewelry, Southwest Pottery, Estate Gold at wholesale prices, 10, 14, 18 karat gold, all gold, silver as well. All silver is sterling silver. And I'll have to verify, but typically when she's been doing this in the past, any purchase over $50 is shipped absolutely free. I'll verify to make that sure that's still going on over at Etsy as well. But last time I heard that was the case. Check out Morgan Trinkets. That's Morgan Trinkets for all your Southwest jewelry, all your estate gold at wholesale prices. And Southwest Jewelry, Southwest Pottery as well, and a steak wholesale prices. 2-day. Might be a little bit late for getting it at Christmas. It's really tough with shipping. I'm telling you that, just knowing myself. But get your order in and just let your that special someone know, I got something fantastic coming for you. It's perfect, and you're gonna love it. And it's coming from Morgan Trinkets, so you're gonna be happy. Thank you so much. And yes, any purchase over $50 is going to be shipped for free. So, the record show last weekend. She had an amazing, fantastic show last weekend. Sold a lot of stuff. We got to turn the page, though, gentlemen. From amazing Morgan Trinkets to hopefully an amazing win at home, gentlemen. If I'm correct, this is the last home game that we have scheduled for the season.
On the road. They're on the road.
They're on the
In
road.
LA.
Oh my goodness. I'm so out of sorts, gentlemen. I'm so sorry. We are on the road. That's right, because we're going back to SoFi, where it may as well be a home game, because about 75% of that stadium is filled up with Denver Broncos fans. That's about right. But yeah, we head on the road. We got to take on the Chargers. We got to get this win. Trevor, I'll let you bust into this first, man. What do you see against the Chargers? Karen's wondering, who's coming in here quite a while ago, says, isn't Herbert injured a little? Thought I heard something on that. How's the health of this Chargers team, and how do we take advantage of this Chargers, at least on the offensive side of things, our defense versus their offense?
Yeah, I mean, Herbert's banged up a little bit, but he's going to play. And I think that may affect his mobility. I believe it's a calf strain. I believe he's got. It's a lower body injury. But yeah, I mean, this is the most efficient quarterback that you face in a couple of weeks, in a couple of games, I will say. He's Justin Herbert is not Jameis Winston. He's not Anthony Richardson. He's accurate with the football. So Roy said it's an ankle injury for Justin Herbert. Thank you, Roy. Yeah, I mean, it's just, this is a team that's struggling to run the football, though. J.K. Dobbins being down, they have Gus Edwards. They're not really, talk about a team that's struggling to run the football. That's definitely, that this Chargers offense. And so, you're going to have to worry about Justin Herbert. Ladd McConkey's a guy that's, from this past rookie class, draft class, that's really emerged as well for this team. So
Yes.
This is a team that, they're a little banged up, but it's still a team that you got to worry about. And they're coming off a huge loss against Tampa Bay. This is a team that's looking for redemption and is going to be hungry to get a victory against the Broncos. So you always got to worry about Justin Herbert and what he's able to do. He's an efficient quarterback and very accurate. So with some weapons. So I think that's just something this defense is going to have to adjust. You're going to have to get pressure on him. You can't sit back in zone and let him just do his thing, because he's going to be accurate. He's not going to be a guy that's going to turn the football over 2-3 times a game. So not so that it couldn't happen, but he's just really efficient with the football. So this defense is going to be challenged with a good quarterback. And again, fortunately for the Broncos, you're not facing another Jonathan Taylor this week. I know Jonathan Taylor the fumble, but he had over 100 yards against the Broncos defense. So you're able to. I like the Broncos' chances of being able to stop the run, but the big question is, how can you stop Justin Herbert? Because we remember the last time the Chargers were in Denver, he ate that defense up a little bit. So it's going to be, Justin Herbert is the biggest challenge in this game, as well as Ladd McConkey.
You go from Justin Herbert, Ladd McConkey, but last time we were out there, we saw J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins is now on IR, so we're talking about a Gus Edwards team as well. Justin Herbert hasn't necessarily been relied upon for putting up lots of yards, but has been able to get those completions, and actually threw his first interception in 11 games just this last week. 1 interception in 11 games. A lot of QBs would like to have that. Speaking of which, we have a new follower, Kara Zora L, over on YouTube, says, I'm scared this Thursday night football. Dutchie, does Kara Zora-L have a reason to be scared this Thursday?
I don't think so, because you said this is going to be a revenge game. It is going to be a revenge game for the Broncos. They didn't do what he should have done the last time, and I hope that they're going to do it this time. Put pressure on Herbert, and I think that is the big key in this game. And yeah, it isn't, and I will help you out. It isn't home away from home game. Like you said, more of about 3/4 of the stadium will be Broncos. So no, this is a revenge game for the Broncos. They lost the last time, and I truly believe that they want to put it to the Chargers this time, and I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. Um, the only thing that the offense does not need to do is have a slow start. If they are mediocre in the first game, if they score points in the first quarter, I think it will be a fun game to watch and a game that the Broncos will win, and probably by quite a bit of a margin.
Man, Dutch is getting into hints of an early prediction here. James Green coming in saying hello from Kentucky. It's been a while. Hello, James. Good to see you, man. Good to have you back, and I'm glad that you were able to stop in, see us all. Let's see if I could just get this really quick. Hang with me, everybody. It's all good. We're having a great time hanging out on a Friday night or Tuesday. Jeez, I'm just all over the place. On a Tuesday night, having a great time talking some Broncos. But I wanted to get to this one because Whiskey Chase 12 came in over on YouTube saying "Go Chargers" and giving us the lightning bolts all the way across the board. I just want to say I'm glad you're here. Glad to have somebody on the other side of the aisle, someone who can maybe talk a little bit about their team. And if you have some true opinions, some true thoughts, love to have you in here talking some football, talking some Chargers, talking some Broncos, and even love to have you in here post game. When we get back on here, well, it'll be Friday when we're doing the post game show. So come back in, have a great time. Wow. Michael Ronquillos dropping stars. We got Phil McLaughlin dropping stars. I want to just go ahead and I'm going to read this one. I'll find it. Phil says, if Moss and PS2 do not play, who are our cornerbacks? And Trevor, the one thing I had a little bit of worry about, yes, we saw PS2 was a full participant, but a lot of times this is walkthrough. And if you can't participate in a walkthrough, that's a little bit of an issue in and of itself. If we get to the point where we're actually participating tomorrow as a full participant, I'll feel a little bit better. But if we don't have Moss, if we don't have PS2, how do you see this secondary, this cornerback room stepping up and fulfilling those roles that are missing out of two key guys? Trevor, your answer?
There's three guys: Chris Abrams-Drain, Damari Mathis, and Levi Wallace would have to step up, and that's not ideal. I think PS2 was leaning towards playing this week. I will say that, but I do think that would be where your secondary would be, and it's not ideal, but that's just kind of where I thought Chris Abrams-Drain played really well on Sunday as well. I think that he did a great job in coverage. His speed, his break to the football is just great, and it's just something you want. I mean, again, let's give credit to this Broncos rookie, 2024 rookie draft class. Again, another rookie that's contributing to this team right now. Chris Abrams-Drain has done a great job with that. I thought Damari Mathis stepped up into a role as well. We'll see if he can sustain that going forward. But I think PS2 will play on Thursday night. Short week. This is what you're worried about when you start flexing games. That's why I'm not a big fan of flexing games now, this late in the season, because everybody's banged up. And when you start flexing games, it's a shorter week for these guys to rest. But, hopefully no big injuries, ends up happening on Thursday because of the short week. That's what you always worry about this time of the year. But, I mean, that's where the cornerback situation would be right now. But I expect PS2 to play on Thursday. And McMillan, sorry, I forgot to mention Jaquan McMillan in there too.
Yeah, Jaquan McMillan, who I think has had an outstanding season all season, has not had to been relied upon lately, like Chris Abrams-Drain. But gentlemen, Albert, I don't know if you can tip a Santa cap, but you can certainly tip a ball cap. And I'm going to give at least a big tip, if nothing else, to one Michael Ronquillo. We got to pause the show, gentlemen. says these Facebook stars are for all the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast with Keith, Albert, Trevor, and Jody. And go Broncos country, go Bo Broncos. He's given us a huge orange and blue hearts. He's given us a huge mile high salute. Gentlemen, he just dropped 1,000 stars. And I think that's the biggest star dump we've ever had by any single individual. Michael, thank you so very much, man. I know that you've entered in the contest already, but man, honestly, I never thought I'd be a podcaster out here getting that much support. It means a ton. And this love and this little bit of choking up my voice is for you. Appreciate it a ton, Michael. And we'll keep rocking it for you and all the posse out there. Thank you, man. So very, very much, man. That's super awesome, man. Like I said, a little choked up in the eyes and the ear and the voice here. Ian's coming in here and saying, "Go Broncos all day." Jody's just reminding us that PS2 didn't play last game, and we held down the fort. Ian saying Drain did look good, and that's something I was really excited to see because I thought that was a guy that needed an opportunity. I don't like the way that it came about, but I'm glad that he's taken that opportunity and shown off well. PS2 will play, says Paul. He's just declaring it right now. And Ian doesn't want to see Wallace. Yeah, Ronk's just in here rocking it. McMillan is a nickel, though, and absolutely, man. That's the guy that we need. McMillan is solid, and I agree. Gentlemen, boy, got to get in here and start talking about, some predictions. I've already seen some predictions from some of our posse in here. We've seen a lot of win predictions as of lately, and those who have given those win predictions have been doing pretty good, quite honestly, because the Broncos just keep on rolling and rolling and rolling. The rolling, though, does it continue? That's the big question, man. It's a big task. The AFC West is no joke. It doesn't matter if you're playing the Raiders and they've only got 2 wins. Doesn't matter if you're playing the Chiefs and they're leading the whole NFL as far as win totals are concerned. But you play in the AFC West, expect a really tight game, a tough, hard-fought game, a game that hopefully the Denver Broncos can come out with that W and get the playoff win. That being said, I'll go ahead and I'll start rolling through some of them. Like Pearl's coming in, who also let me know she ships priority, everything priority over there at Morgan Trinkets. If you're looking for those last minute holiday gifts, just know that. Kara Zorel coming in with a 32-21 Broncos win prediction. Fingers crossed. I know we have some others in there, but Albert, I'll start with you. Kind of break down how you feel this game's going to go and how you feel the score is going to come about. So I'd love to get your thoughts, buddy.
So first, I want to ask you a question. So if you can make the playoffs and you let Surtain play, but he might miss the next 2 games, would you do it because you clinch the playoffs?
Would I do it if he wins this game? We clinch, and then he misses just the next two games?
Yes.
If I can guarantee that he's back for the playoffs, I would probably say yes. But man, I don't like playing that game very much at all. Trevor, I want to get your thoughts on that before Dutchie gives me his. What your thoughts on that?
Well, it depends. Is he hurt after this game, or are they just resting him after this game if they win? That would be my question to you, Dutchie, if that's what in this scenario. Because if you win, yeah, you clinch the playoffs, but I don't want that to risk PS2 long-term injury-wise at all. But if you're talking about sitting him now because the Broncos are confident in where they're at in the playoffs, which I don't see that happening, to be honest, with knowing about Sean Payton, how competitive he is. I don't see him sitting his guys the next 2 games of the season. So that would be my question to you, I guess, would be, are you risking Pat Surtain being hurt? I would I would probably say no. Not probably. I would just say no. I'm not risking Pat Surtain just getting hurt anymore. Riley Moss, I mean, I think they're being a little bit more, you know, safe with Riley Moss because of their depth in their corner, in their secondary with the corners, Chris Abrams-Drain, Damari Mathis. I think Sean Payton, VJ, and this coaching staff is a little bit more higher on these guys than maybe what it is to be believed. And so I think that's why you're seeing Riley Moss kind of set out and then be safe with him so they can have him for the stretch run or for that playoff run down the line.
Okay, back to you, Albert. I didn't realize we'd take off like that. It's okay, buddy. Go ahead.
So if the injury is not that bad and he plays and he aggravates it a little bit more, and in the next 2 games he just sits down and he's ready for the playoffs, then absolutely I would do it. Because if once you have secured it, now you can, it really doesn't matter if you're 5th seed, 6th seed, or 7th seed. You're going to face a tough opponent anyway. So it doesn't really matter. So, but you have secured it. If you lose this game against the Chargers, you don't have the tiebreaker. They're always ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's why you need to win this game. And I think you need to win this game. There's no buts about it. And so, I would play him, and then he can rest the next 2 games if he sprains it a little bit more. A lot of the times with an injury like this, and this is what I know, if you keep playing, it will get better. Because I have run with broken bones, broken foot bones, sprained ankles. I just kept playing. You toughen it up, and it after a little while, you don't even feel it anymore. So it is okay. And here's another question.
I don't know if the medical trainers are going to go with the broken foot run on it. I was just saying, Albert, but I understand where you're coming from, buddy.
See, I never had a medical staff like that.
Yeah.
So I've had broken foot bones, and I just played with it, and I didn't even know that I had broken foot bones until I had one broken bone that was so bad that he had taken X-rays of both my feet, and they told me, "How many times have you had broken foot bones?" And they said, 1. And they showed to me that it was more than 9. So, and then another question. Kristen Edwards-Helaire has been released by the Chiefs.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
Yeah. Yay or nay?
We got our team. I'm not worried about Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'm worried about the Chargers and what our team can do moving forward, and quite honestly about where we're headed. I don't think there's any reason to necessarily be picking up additional running backs. So,
agreed. Yeah, I want him in. It's tough this late in the season to get him acclimated with the offense and get him up to par. So I think you just roll with the running back room you have, and try to develop what you got the rest of the season.
Okay.
But that's a great question, and
you're getting a lot of agreements. We're getting yays from Ian over there on Facebook. We're getting a yay over from Paul. So I guess it's tied right now as far as me and Trevor saying nay and Ian and Paul saying yay. Albert, you want to break the tie?
I would say yay, because I don't think for a running back it is that difficult to pick up the offense. What do you have to do? You have to find a hole, and he can find those holes. And I think it would be maybe 1 or 2 games, 2 weeks of training, and you will fit right in. That's what I think.
Do you think he's an upgrade over anybody in this running back room right now?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think he is, but
not
much of an upgrade. I don't think so.
I was actually listening to I'll be honest, I don't give a whole lot of shout outs, but the DNVR podcast as well. And that, like, they were talking, unless you have like a Saquon Barkley who's, jumping backwards over safeties, I really think that this is a running game that gets met at the line of scrimmage. That if they don't get met at the line of scrimmage, they're certainly swarmed at the linebacker. It's never a one-on-one, make a linebacker miss, and then you're sprung free. It seems like whether it's McLaughlin, whether it's Javonte, whether it's Estime, doesn't matter who's out there. Those guys are fighting at the line of scrimmage more times than not. And I don't know if outside of getting a top 5 running back in the league, that's going to necessarily help that situation. That being said, I just got to take a quick timeout, Albert, and then I want to get your prediction here because Phil's, I'm not saying anybody's trying to best anybody, but Phil's just dropped an amazing amount of stars, dropping 1,200 stars, coming in here and saying, got to send a Christmas gift to the gang, hashtag RMSN wins. And man, I'll tell you what, Phil McLaughlin wins this evening as well, man. 1,200 stars. Phil, thank you so very much, man. Fantastic Christmas present. You guys are just, like I said, blowing me away this evening. Getting me at a loss of words, and heck, I might not even get through the rest of this conversation, through the rest of this podcast, or through my prediction without being just completely taken aback and picking myself off the floor. So thank you very much, man. Appreciate it a ton, and from the bottom of my heart, man. Can't believe it. So, Albert, let's get some score predictions. We've got a ton more that I was going to run through as well. I'll flash them up on the screen as you're getting to yours, and I got to get to Trevor's as well. I'll get to mine.
It's going to be a Broncos win, and it's going to be 28-14.
28-14, man. I'm hoping you're right, man. I'm hoping you're right, man. There's a couple of things that have me worried about the Broncos putting up some points, but maybe there's a couple of reasons for me to be happy too. Trevor, Broncos win, says Albert. We get to double up the Bolts, 28-14. What say you?
This is the one I struggle with. Again, it's on the road. It's a Chargers team that I think is very, very good. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think this is gonna be a low scoring game. It's gonna be an ugly game because of how low scoring it is. This is to the top 5, to the top defenses in the NFL. These defenses do not allow a lot of points. I would say, oh man, it's tough. I'm gonna say 21-17. I think Chargers end up squeaking this one out. Yeah, it's on the road. It's I know it's a Bronco home game, you can say, but I think Herbert is just a different animal from what this team defense has faced over the last couple of games, and so you got to pick the Broncos to lose at some point, right? So I think this would be the game that they may drop, but I think going forward after this game to be positive, I think the Bengals game and the Chiefs game end up lining up pretty well for this Broncos football team to take care of business and still make the playoffs pretty comfortably, even if you're dropping this game on the road.
Wow, I didn't see that coming, Trevor. I know that we've been all over the board, been talking about the amazing giveaway, RMSN win. That's what you type in. You need to be a follower of the Rocky Mountain Sports Network Facebook page or YouTube, and we're giving away that PS2 jersey by doing that. But signed jersey, JSA certified. Just want to put that all out there. But we haven't had enough time to necessarily give this game a full breakdown. I did not see a loss prediction coming from you, man. Michael Ronquillo's coming in. He almost had a loss. He says I had the Broncos winning with a score 21-20 with the Broncos blocking the Chargers NFL game-winning field goal. Go Broncos, man. So tight games. We've seen some predictions in here from a lot of different people. 31-20. Denver win, says Michelle Knoppers. A little bit more breathing room in that one. Patrick Wiltsey, man, loving him. And Patrick, there isn't an exception when it's a guy like you who's done so well with us with all the Lion coffee and all that said. So you're entered to win, sir. Kenny doesn't have to carry the torch for you. You're entered to win as well. Just drop those magical words in the comments. He says, love you boys. Merry Christmas. In case I don't remember to say that coming up, Bronco giving us those coffee cups, of course. Broncos 31, Chargers 20. Broncos 30, Chargers 13, says one amazing Ernie Mays. Roy, on the Trevor side. Roy and Trevor are becoming really good friends as of lately because Roy brings it, man. Yeah, he if he thinks we have an error, an issue, a problem, he's not afraid to put it out there. And Roy, we appreciate that. But he's also with you, man. 27-17 for the Chargers, says one Roy Osborne. Chargers 31, Broncos 24. Also keeping it real, one Mr. Kenny Kirkpatrick. So, whew, gentlemen. Ian, our good friend Ian, who's been in the chat all night long, coming in saying 28-21 with the Broncos win. Mr. Rodney Garcia over on YouTube. I think the Chargers will win. 27-24, a sweep for the first time since 2010, says one Rodney. Good to see you, Rodney Garcia. Been too long since I said your name, even if you have been in there. We have done 14 games this year with no running game. When does it start? 24-21 Broncos RMS win, says one Phil McLaughlin. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to start in this particular game. But that being said, I do like the fact that we need to get this win. Broncos, Pearl's coming in with a 20-21 Denver Broncos win. I think that might be much like what we just saw from Phil. Gentlemen, this is what has me scared. The Chargers are only allowing basically 17 points a game. However, they gave up 40 to Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They gave up dang near 30 and to a couple other opponents in their last 5 games, 27 if I remember right, for one of them. So they're trending in the direction of giving up more. But this Denver Broncos offense hasn't necessarily been able to show that they're dominant as of lately. I want to go ahead and I'm going to give them the win. It's going to be a close one, and I'm really expecting this Denver Broncos team Denver Broncos defense to step up. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say that we get the win 17-12. Talk about an ugly game. Talk about a close game. I think that's the way it's going to go. Will Dissly, last time I looked, Rodney, he was questionable. Another potential weapon at the disposal of one Justin Herbert, but we'll wait to see. This Chargers team has been showing cracks. And if we can put it all together with our defense, I think that we can put together a win, and we won't need to get that much out of our offense. Rodney saying, please watch out on that wheel route from the backfield from running back Vidal. Please do not allow that again. Yeah, that wheel route, I will say, has kind of gone away from being completely an exposure to the defense. Our good friend and fourth horseman, Mr. Jody Moncrief, coming in, the judge himself, saying 24-21 Denver Bronco win. Gentlemen, we're already past the hour. We need to get this all wrapped up. I've been so excited about all the stars, the giveaway, the PS2 signed jersey giveaway, the training camp piece giveaway, the John Elway figurine giveaway. I'm excited about this fantastic win I have posted back here, regardless of how great it was against the Colts or how great it wasn't. And I'm excited about this winning team. Excited about the potential of getting into the playoffs with the win this Thursday, man. But I'm also got to get out of here. Trevor, I'll let you say the first goodbyes. I'll let Albert say the second, and then I'll let see if we have anything in the chat, and then we'll get on out of here.
Yeah, I mean, I just again appreciate everybody being in the chat. I mean, I think it says a lot that we can, there's both sides, win, loss. I think the posse is just amazing. I mean, shout out to everybody in the posse first and foremost. I mean, it's so easy to come out here and say, well, Broncos are going to win each and every game, but when we can, agree to disagree, but do that respectfully. I mean, you guys are just amazing for that, and we really appreciate you guys. Even if we disagree on things, you guys are respectful in that, and really appreciate that. And hopefully we're wrong when we pick this team to lose. We want this team to win, but they got to lose at some point in time. No, but just huge shout out to everybody in the chat, and big thank you. Just the chat was blowing up tonight, and we really appreciate everybody. Whether you've been in here throughout the season, or whether you just came in now. You guys are all appreciated, and we're so blessed to have a great fan base behind us. And this is what we do. And Keith, I know we had that giveaway earlier, but again, we have a lot of great content over here too. It's not just during the season; it's the off season. We have 2 shows during the week. We have a great big time draft show, 3 days worth of content for you guys, and that will be probably planned here once again this off season. We've covered free agency, trades, the draft, the whole 9 yards. We cover this team throughout the season. Throughout the regular season and in the off season. So be sure to drop by again. We really appreciate you guys, and just much love to everybody, and hope everybody has a great week. Stay safe, and hopefully for a Broncos win. But again, big shout out to everybody. Thank you, everybody, and go Broncos.
Yeah. Rodney Garcia's giving us some love. Karen's giving us some love. Pearl's giving us some love. Paul's giving us some love. Albert, do you have any love for the posse here?
Absolutely. And one more fact: the Broncos are outscoring anybody in the AFC West per average game. We are half a point scoring better than even the Chiefs per game. So we are the number 1 scoring offense of team in the AFC West. But not only the Broncos are on fire, but our posse was on fire tonight. We have not had so many people in the chat since the draft. Since the draft.
Love.
And of course, we have to thank everybody who submitted stars and thank yous and wins and that kind of stuff. But everybody, you guys were on fire. And here is the list of names that I have: my lovely wife, Michelle, Ernie, Paul, Scott, Graham, Michael, Clayton, Pearl, Phil, Kenny, Roy, Jeremy, Jody, and of course the Mile High Priest, Chad Jensen, Karen, Douglas Wall, Rodney, Patrick, Kurt, Cara Zorel, James Green, Whiskey Chase, and for me this was a new name I haven't seen before, Ian. Thank you guys. Our posse was on fire, and it makes our life so much easier when you guys are there and commenting and contributing in the talks. Thank you. And if I don't see you, but you will, because next Tuesday we are here again. But if I don't, vrolijk kerstfeest iedereen.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you as well. My guess. Trevor, let's get some, and thank you, Dutchie, man. Thanks for all the recognition of all our fantastic supporters, the posse as we call them. Man, we love them. We appreciate them. We wouldn't be here without them. And Albert, you do a fantastic job of recognizing them every time that you're on this podcast. Thank you very, very much. Trevor, we got to get out of here. I want your thoughts as we get out as well, man.
Well, I want you to give your thoughts, because I just gave my thoughts to my
whoops
already, my friend.
I'm so sorry. round and go. You're right. Absolutely, man. No, you're right, man. I sorry. A little off track tonight, man. A lot of things going on. You guys are killing me with all these comments. As Albert pointed out, we just had so dang many of them. We had amazing star givers. Phil, I did see your additional 100 stars that you end up coming in here right at the end as well. So thank you very much. I was going to see if I could put it up there. Yeah. That one right there. Guys, I would like to ask this. Do you think Beatty's being saved for the playoffs? And he's given an RMSN win. I'll just quick 10 seconds or less. I'll give Trevor and Dutchie that before I get out of here on my final thoughts and get out. Trevor, you first, sir. Beatty being saved?
I wait and see, Phil. I would say wait and see. I don't know the plan with Beatty right now, but we need to see more of estimates. Time for this running back room to start kind of mixing things up a little bit. Got to get that run game going before the playoffs start.
Very good. But running game doesn't need to get started. It might be that we were holding off and waiting for Beatty to come into the playoffs. Is that the case, Mile High, Albert Dutchie?
Let's hope so. That's all I can say. Let's hope so. because then we have a secret weapon that nobody is prepared for. And yeah, let's hope it, because we have seen Mims can be a special weapon, and so maybe Beatty will be one too.
All right, man. We give you guys a little bit extra time this evening, and it's because you give us a little bit extra every single episode, man, with all your comments, all your stars, all your thoughts, all your questions. We go live every Tuesday, every Friday, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, right here on the Rocky Mountain Sports Network or Denver Bronco Roundup, Rocky Mountain Sports Network YouTube page as well. We also typically do a post-game show on any Sunday game or any day game, I should say. So we get in there, we do a post-game reaction just like we did with the Colts just a few days ago. But this time, of course, we'll be going, our post-game will be this Friday. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button so you know when we should be going live. You don't want to miss a late-breaking pod. I've been in contact with some former Super Bowl winners in the past, and one just here as of recently that might be jumping on for a podcast. So that being said, make sure that you're always, always, always tuned in, knowing what we're doing. Hit that like, share, subscribe, and notification button. But we get out of here, and we'll be back. We'll be back on Friday. Can't wait to see you. Can't wait for this Thursday game. Hopefully we're back talking about a Denver Broncos win, a playoff spot all locked up, and all our dreams coming true. Can't wait to see you. Can't wait to see you again, man. This has been another fantastic episode because of the view of the posse. Thanks for all the comments, shares, likes, subscribes, and those, of course, those stars as well. But we get out of here one way and one way only. Keep those boots in the stirrups. Keep your guns in the holsters. And as always, keep those Denver Broncos in your heart. Until next time, we're out of here. Mile high salute. Have a great night, everybody. Go Broncos.